Hey guys, this is my application for Vice Captain for next year. So, to start it off, I just wanted to go and explain about how rugby is my absolute passion and that I understand the game. I know that seems like quite an obvious point, but it's so important to bring to a team, like the understanding of how the forwards and the backs work. And I feel like my understanding has been developed over 12 years. I started playing rugby in that lovely little picture when I was 8 years old. I did a year of tag rugby, and then I've done contact since I was about 9 and under 9s. It's been a massive part of my family. My dad played, then he coached, and my brothers played. And when I started playing, I played for Tring Rugby Club in Hertfordshire. And for about the first 4 or 5 years, I was the only girl playing in the entire club. So you can tell I'm fairly committed. It was a bit intimidating, but it's just been such a massive part of my life since then. So from there, I played until I was 14 years old on a men's team. From there, I moved to Welwyn Garden City Rugby Club with the lovely Jess, who you can see that side. And there I learned all of my key rugby skills. From Welwyn Garden City, you've got Helena Rowland, Hannah Bottoman, Zoe Harrison, who all played there and were all coached by Vince, our lovely coach, who also coached me as well. We love him. During my time there, I played county rugby for Hertfordshire. I captained around half of the matches that I played. We didn't have like a set captain. We had like a rotating captain. And while I was there, we went to the national finals. So we beat out all of the teams in like the South and then in the Midlands, and then eventually went to the national final where we did lose, but it was such an awesome experience being there. It's on the England Rugby YouTube channel. You can watch it now. There's a really awful backhanded pass that didn't go to hand that I did that is just great. But we got some really lovely England medals, and you know, it just elevated my passion for the sport. And I think, you know, through all of that coaching that I had at that team, I learned how to captain and how to coach, and mostly how the forwards operate in the game, but how the backs, you know, intertwine with the forwards. And you know, all of the basics of rugby came from there. And you know, I still feel so strongly about the sport even after all this time. So as I said, at Welwyn, I had lots of opportunities to captain games, and I developed my communication skills, which is, you know, very essential for a game like this. And during my time at Welwyn, I was extremely gobby. It might seem a little hard to believe because I have toned it down this year, because I feel like if you're not... Sorry, you can hear a hamster in the back. If you're not... It's not always your place to speak, and I think listening in a team is so important, and that's what I've tried to focus on this year, because coming in as a fresher, it's so important to learn from everybody else on the team. But I know if I was put in this role, I know how to use my voice to the best of my ability, and I'm sure, Jess can attest to me at Welwyn Rugby being very bloody gobby. But I know if the need arose, I could perform very well, and I do also do a really good motivational speech. My playing, I am aware that I'm not the best, let alone the fastest on the pitch, though I think I do a really great prop run. But I think that isn't necessarily, you know, the most important thing to be a captain or a vice captain. I think not being one of the best on the team means you sit back and you watch everyone else's play, and there are so many people on this team that I admire so much, and I think, I want that bit of what you play, and I want to bring it into my own game. Like I look at all the seniors and I think, you know, the skills that we've developed this year, I'm like, I just want to get those into my game. Or like how quick Gemma is on her feet, I want that in my game. Or Evie and Erin, and how they just throw themselves into tackles. I think you watch everybody and you understand everyone's strengths, and I want to bring that into the game and kind of just work on everyone's strengths. And even though I'm not the best on the team, I know I could do my best in this role. The growth of the game is growing at such an amazing speed. For my third year final project, I am doing it on the growth of women's rugby. So it's something that I really, really am passionate about. And even though the skill of promoting rugby isn't necessarily something that's needed for a vice captain role, I think it is something that is really important, and I want to help promote the sport and get as many people as I can involved because it's something that I feel so strongly about. And through my degree, I'm doing journalism. I know, social media, marketing, all of it, would be more than happy to help, in that area of it if I was put in this role next year. Next season, if I was given this opportunity, I would put my everything into this role. Rugby is and has always been such a huge part of my life, and helping others get into the sport and watching the team do well would just be amazing. And I have just enjoyed this season so much. I took a little break after COVID, and I was worried about getting back into the sport, but I can't have asked for a better team to join back with. I was so shocked at how quickly everyone bonded, and I can't think of a better, time to be a committee for this team when it's so big. And I know I would take it so seriously, and as much as I am so sad to lose our lovely seniors, I'm so excited for next season and how it's going to be. And I just want to reiterate that if I was put in this role, I would take it so seriously because it is truly my passion, and I hope you'll consider me. But thanks, guys.